it's to outlast. It's going to be much easier.
I mean, we know within Honor of Kings, getting to that 10-minute mark, the game literally goes 50-50.
Yes, and with that, we want to hear the fans cheer as well. Game number 1. Let us head to the stage. Wonderful cheers from the crowd here, and you can see straight away JDG achieving what they need to start in the early parts of the game, right? Jingyu going in for the task ball steal, and in the farm lane, Yi already having a slight advantage against Track by taking the Firehawk away.
You're taking the Firehawk away, obviously they got the boars into the mid lane as well, right? Which is what we're talking about into the draft. Like, you need to get Ogryn those extra little bit of resources. Like, you can't just play in your own jungle if you are an Ogryn, right? You want to be kind of taken away, especially on something like a Pei here as well. Taking away any kind of resources you can gather just so you can get online a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and also pay attention that they have done a lane swap on the side of Wolves, right? They want to make sure that not Wolves, sorry, JDG actually making sure that they are able to get that lane. No, actually, okay, never mind. Whatever, they did a lane swap here.
They did a lane swap. There we go. Obviously, we're seeing the earlier top side of the map here going up against the high note once again. Obviously, it was Lubu, but Lubu's like, you know what, guys? I'm having a bit of a hard time here. Let me just try and obviously just focus the mid. Maybe like just crash the mid wave here so that Ogryn can then come through and try and get that extra little bit of resources. But you're seeing just that 3-man buddying system, right? You have the support, the mid, and the jungle just all kind of like formulated here. And the same thing's been replicated here for JD Gaming.
Yeah, they're wanting to start that gold sharing, very important. You can see the damage coming from Juan on this Xiao Xiao pick, right? Level 3, but still does a decent amount of damage against Xingyi, even though he has a 2-level advantage on this Ogryn.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it, right, like, where's the dive going to come from this early on onto something like a Xiao Xiao? Like, there's nothing really there that's going to be able to kind of, like, if that second skill's being kind of expanded there, the knock-up that normally stops those ganks, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to actually climb on top when they don't really have that kind of dive potential here for the side of JD Gaming.
Yes, it's too early to really get an aggressive play here, right? And you can see Wolves eSports, I like the way that KPL teams play. They speed up the jungle so fast for Pang. Like, all he has to do is to make sure he's on time, make sure he's at the correct part of the map. The buffs will be ready for him to just smite or get the last hit.
Yeah, if any of my teammates are watching this currently, this is what you need to do, right? When I'm locking in jungle, speed up my jungle, right? That's how we're going to get the wins. I mean, this season's been pretty hard for me so far, so that's what we were going to be looking at. So take notes, get your pen and pad out, or if you're a new style kid, get your iPad out. But no, right now, obviously, the gold has actually gone over to the side of Wolves eSports, when really it was starting to begin with JD Gaming.
Yes, because they had the initial invade, right? And the response from the side of Wolves was really great. So not only did they manage to secure the rest of their buffs, but here we go, another steal. But is it worth it? Because level 7, he will be able to make it out so far. The heals coming in from Nofia have been phenomenal.
They have been. This is what I was talking about within the draft, right? Obviously, the sustainability is definitely going to be more towards JD Gaming because of the Ogryn, because of the Diana as well. But I mean, if we're looking, obviously, Wolves eSports, you're looking at those bigger those big team fight initiators, right? Obviously, Sakura on the Byron is really going to be kind of trying to get into the back line here, JD Gaming, towards that, like, the mid to late game, trying to open up the back line.
And you can see, Wolves, they're looking, but there's no entry. There's no opening that is available for the side of Wolves eSports to really take advantage of, right? JD Gaming, they've been positioned really, really safe so far.
They have. I mean, they think they have to, right? Like, if you start to give over that first blood, especially if you go into something like the Pei, right? Like, that's going to be scary for the side of JD Gaming. They know they're going to be behind, but there's going to be a 2v1 kind of curtail up at the top side of the map here, forcing
what's supposed to happen if you're on the side of Wolves eSports? It's not this. They needed to have the kills, they needed to have the first blood, they needed to get more fighting time on the Gorge, but it's not happening.
Yeah. Like you said, the position here for JD Gaming has been pretty phenomenal so far. Obviously, not kind of like overzealous, not overextended, kind of giving over those kind of like fatal kills to the side of Wolves Gaming. But like we were saying there, Wolves eSports, but we're saying there, obviously, there was a lot of pressure in top side of the map here. Able to get that Tyrant is going to be a good use here for the side of JD Gaming, but not enough damage to take out the Byron just yet.
I think at this point, JD Gaming, they don't really have to win any team fights. They just have to make sure they don't die, right? Because they are on a different set of timers. It's all about, can we get more farm within the first 10 minutes? If we get a 15 minutes, this game, essentially in theory, should be over.
Yeah, JD Gaming are waiting for the bus. Wolves eSports are running after it like a dog, right? Like, they need to get onto that bus because they're going to be late. And they don't want to be late going into that late game because that's where we've already said within the draft that JD Gaming are really going to shine here.
Yes, and you can see the value that No Fear has on this tie-in is just completely out of control. There's no potential. You don't even see the window for a potential kill. And now, this is swinging very much in favor of JD Gaming. Now, the door is really open. Now, the only question is, JD Gaming, how many turrets will they lose in this bid for buying of time?
Yeah, I mean, they've got to make sure, right? Obviously, they're just kind of not committing too much into the top side of the map here onto the side of JD Gaming. It's just kind of like Lubu's going to be there to maybe try and push away this minion wave, but they do have the kind of minion there. He's able to actually use that skill just to wipe them out, but there is just another minion wave naturally crashing through here. So like you were saying, Kid, are they looking to lose that T2 to the top side of the map, which we've already seen like time and time again with some of these KPL teams, right? They like to get that T2 in the clash lane very early, so then it kind of puts and takes away that safe space for their enemy team.
Yep. I mean, if you can't take the T1, then the most natural choice is, okay, let's get a T2. But here we go, potential first blood? No, there's no way they get that.
No, unfortunately, there was a lot of damage coming through. Obviously, some of these players are now having to get the itemization online, right? Obviously, we can kind of see here from the Xiao Qiao very knowingly well going for that venomous stab.
Oh, they're going in!
Heal, but we are getting a bit of a team fight right now. Obviously, we do see a lot going on here. Xiao Qiao getting that poke damage onto the side of JD Gaming, but still nobody taking any L's.
I mean, it's already very difficult to deal with the Ogren, especially when he has his Death's Precipice, right? That swipe, he has the lifesteal. But then now you have the heals of No Fear as well.
You do have the heals of No Fear as well. Like, coming through, just trying to peep there, but in the first blood is going to be taken down here at Wolves eSports. Yeah, that's going to be going over to Track, getting his team on track to try to get this early to mid-game victory here for them. They don't want to get on track into that late game.
And once again, it's Xingyu, right? The jungler on the side of JD Gaming. He has overstepped quite a few times in the past few days, and this could be a cause of concern. Wolves eSports, the door's open.
Oh, the Tremble Mortals onto two to the back line. JD Gaming are looking for an answer here, but Ali's getting the pickup here onto the Goya as well. So that's a 1-1 trade so far between these two teams. They're looking for a little bit more blood here, but this is the Byron. He's sustaining. He's looking to get out, but there's the true damage here coming from JD Gaming's Whisper, but he does fall as well. It's a long drawn out team fight for both of these teams, but a 2-2 trade overall is very even Stevens.
Yes. Maybe a slight advantage for Wolves, right? Because they got that initial kill on the Jingyu at the same time. Now he has no buffs, and this is where the invasion starts. Wolves, you can see straight away the pressure comes in.
Yeah, pressure comes in. They're looking to open themselves, trying to get that Crimson Golem, but they actually don't steal it away there. So a little bit of a farewell for the side of Wolves eSports out of the side of JD Gaming in jungle there.
But they force it on the fear, right? So they do get that second tyrant of the game on the side of JD Gaming. But then you start to see, hey, the map is getting a little bit smaller. Wolves eSports, they can't win the fights. It's okay. We take the map.
They're taking the map, but I mean, at the same time, is taking the map going to get them the resources that they need, right? Because I mean, right now, if you're looking at Wolves eSports, they have a lot more access into JD Gaming's jungle than JD do for Wolves, but there it is. A lot of burst damage. The ultimate coming from the Xiao Qiao, but again, just another kill going up to Track. That's really going to make sure this Ali is shining for the side of Wolves eSports in game number 1. As we see here, Pang, look at the rotate, get that T2 down to the bot side as well as into the clash lane.
Yeah, beautiful work coming in from the side of Wolves eSports. This is exactly what they want to have, right? Of all the people you want out of the game for the next few seconds, it has to be Yi, because he's the main carry in the later parts of the game as well. The Goya needs to have the farm, and now that farm is going to be dwindled.
It is going to be dwindled, right? I mean, that's definitely one way to kind of punish your enemy's GPM, right? That gold per minute is just completely get them off the gorge, man. Like, hey, you aren't going to get any resources if you aren't on the map. And that's exactly what Wolves eSports are doing here. They're punishing JD Gaming. You're into that bot side of the map.
And you can start to see the value of the lineup for the side of Wolves. They're so slippery, it's very hard to catch any of the members out. Even, I mean, maybe Juan is the only one that you might have a chance to catch if he has no flash.
Yeah.
But here we go, once again, pressure putting down.
pressure being put down. I mean, they're just kind of just poking. They're playing with their food, right? Wolves eSports, they're up by about 2k gold right now. Like, they're having the time of their life. They're just looking to try and deny away against another tyrant here for the side of JD Gaming, but that is going to be wrong going down. That's going to be a lot of poke, a lot of damage being taken from JD Gaming.
That's not the only pain point. So besides losing this 10-minute Tyrant, they have actually got a little bit of damage on the T3 on the top. So now Wolves, all they have to do is to make sure they get a little bit more, maybe even get the T3 altogether. And then this game is starting to look a little shaky from inside of JD Gaming.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, the KPL is just all about a little bit more. Like, if you keep giving them little bits more, they're going to take so much from you there. Obviously, that triple mortal just there to push away, track on the Ali, but it's not going to stop him getting a takedown onto Fear. Getting the takedown onto Whisper as well as Jin Yu. Into the bot side. That's a 4-0 trade for Wolves game in game number 1.
And that is why they're so fearful here. Last one on the board. Wrong is going to be the last one. It's an ace. And Wolves, they take this.
Wolves take that with a clean entrance into game number 1, right? Like, they definitely made JD Gaming suffer. But this is the problem. We were talking about the strat that JD Gaming were doing, right? They were just kind of keeping away. They were waiting for the bus. But onto the side of Wolves eSports, they were the dog chasing the bus, and they were able to catch up and get on board. I mean, I'm not too sure how a dog's going to pay for his fare, but they do with game number 1 for Wolves eSports.
Yes, so this...